What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, the Errol Spence Jr. detractors, the Errol Spence Jr. naysayers, the Errol Spence Jr. haters, or otherwise known as the Terence Crawford super fans. Now they are pulling at straws to try to find anything to throw dirt on Errol Spence Jr.'s name, right? Because the other tactics that they had previously did not work. Errol Spence Jr. disproved those other tactics or those other angles they had. So now they're trying to pull at some more straws to try to make it seem like Errol Spence Jr. is afraid and he's scared and so on and so forth, right? So I'm going to get ready to debunk those things. But let's just run it down, right? Because at first, when Terence Crawford was talking foul about Errol Spence and Bo Mac and all the rest of Terence Crawford's team was talking crazy about Errol, and Errol said nothing. At first, it was all Errol scared. He's scared. He's scared. He won't even say Bud's name. He's afraid. He's trembling in his boots. He's afraid of Bud. He don't want none of that smoke. He afraid to say Bud's name. He don't even want people to mention Bud. He'll run away, so on and so forth, right? He's scared. Even when Bud won the fight against Sean Porter, when he stopped Sean Porter, Errol ran out of the arena because he was scared of the prospect of him fighting Terence Crawford. He was scared of that prospect even being mentioned or brought up. After Errol Spence whoops Yordenis Ugas' ass all over pay-per-view, Errol Spence debunks that whole theory by saying, not only calling out Terence Crawford, but he called him out emphatically. Did it with his chest poked out and said, I'm coming for his shit too. Verbatim. Then he said, Terence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt. Not just I'm coming to get your belt, Terence, I really hope I win. He said, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt. Right? So he said it with his chest. He said it with a lot of dog in his heart. So now it's like, oh shit, we can't say he's scared of Bud now. Now, damn, he disproved that, you know what I mean? But they wasn't even owning up to that, right? Because at first when they said Errol wouldn't say Terence's name, then when he says Terence's name, they say, oh, he really just backed into a corner now. That's the only reason he's calling him out. Only because he's backed into a corner. That's the only reason. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Which one is it? Is he scared to say Terence Crawford's name or what? Or what? Which one? Right? So now that he says Terence Crawford's name, now that he's been calling Bud out and talking shit on social media about how he coming to snatch Bud's belt, now it's, oh, the only reason he's doing that now is because he got backed into a corner. He was forced to do this. He was forced to do this. No, the fuck he wasn't, fam. If Errol could have really went up to 154 if he really wanted to duck for real. He really could have pulled a punk move and went up to 154 and said, you know what, I ain't gonna fight him, right? No, after the fight, he said, no, when Jim Gray asked him who he wants next, he didn't give a political answer. He didn't say whoever can give me a great fight. He said, I'm coming for his shit. Everybody know I want Terence Crawford. I'm going to take his shit too, and I'm coming for that motherfucking belt, Terence, right? So then I don't get the whole thing. Oh, he was forced to say that. No, he wasn't forced to say that. He said it because he wanted to do exactly what the fuck he said he was going to do before he called Terence Crawford out. He said, I'm going to collect all the belts from my side, from the PBC stable, and then we're going to go up and meet up, and we're going to go ahead and bang it out. That was, Errol always stayed true to what his plan was from the beginning. He never switched up. He said, I'm going to collect all my belts, and then I'm going to go over there and go fight Terence Crawford. So he did just that. And he wasn't going to talk shit and talk crazy until he got the job done and perfected it. Now that he has got all the belts, now that he's got 3 of the belts from all over from the PBC side, now he going to let this fight marinate. He going to build up the hype for this fight, and he going to talk shit and call him out now, right? But here's the thing. So recently, I see, and shout out, I watch this channel a lot, Counterpunch Boxing News. Shout out Kurt, right? Kurt DeVille. So Kurt is a really big Terence Crawford fan. He's a humongous Terence Crawford fan. He does not like Errol. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. I watched the whole live stream with him fighting Yordenis Ugas, when Errol fought Yordenis Ugas. And I mean, he ain't trying to really, Kurt, after the fight, you see Kurt salty and mad as hell that Errol pulled it off and got the stoppage. He motherfucker saying all type of stuff or whatever. And yeah, he's scared. He ain't gonna say his name. First he thought Errol wasn't gonna say his name. Then he said it, right? But Kurt don't fuck with Errol. There's no hiding it at all. Kurt says, because Errol has basically called out Victor Consi as being a drug cheat, being one of the biggest drug cheats in the sport of boxing. And Kurt says the only reason that Errol is doing that now is because Victor Conti is working with Terence Crawford. And Errol is like, okay, I need an excuse if I were to lose this fight, and the excuse would be that Terence Crawford is on steroids. So if I go out and call out Victor Conti, who is supposed to be working if I go and call out Victor Conti, who's supposed to be working with Terence Crawford with the whole snack program or whatever, if I call out Victor Conti now, I can always lean on the fact that, hey, I always called him a drug cheat, so if I lose, you know, and well, according to Kurt, when he loses, because he's sure that Errol Spence will get stopped and beat up and battered, he says Errol can always lean on that as an excuse. Oh, Terence Crawford was a drug cheat. He's working with Victor Conti. And he goes and says that basically he's accusing Terence Crawford of being a cheater. First of all, Kurt is goddamn biased as a motherfucker, right? Like, I'm going to say this. As an Errol Spence Jr. fan, I think Terence Crawford is an exceptional fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. He does a lot of great things. He's a great champion. He is of elite status, pound for pound, great for the undisputed, for him being undisputed at 140. And he's been stopping all the guys that he fought at 147. You got to tip your hat to that. I'm never going to discredit that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. However, like, Kurt is so biased. He didn't even, all the research that he normally does, he didn't even look up that Errol Spence was talking shit about Victor Conti before he fought, like 2 weeks before he fought Ugas. And the only reason he's coming at Victor Conti now is because Victor Conti accused Errol, well, he said that Errol Spence is not enrolled in VADA. Victor Conti was going out of his way to say Errol Spence is not enrolled in VADA when he's for his fight with Ugas. He's not enrolled in VADA, basically insinuating that Errol Spence Jr. was a drug cheat himself, right? Basically trying to insinuate that Errol Spence Jr. was juiced up and so on and so forth by saying, oh, he's not enrolled in VADA, trying to call Errol out. So when Errol got wind of that, he started going in on Victor Conti's ass, killing him, going in as he should have. Talking shit about Victor Conti because Victor Conti tried to put dirt on his name and smear on his name and say, you know, he ain't enrolled in VADA, basically trying to say that, you know, he's cheating, so on and so forth. So Errol said, okay, what, you know what, you gonna try to say I'm cheating or try to insinuate I'm cheating? I'm gonna talk about your cheating ass and the shit that you done pulled off in the boxing game, in the boxing world. So this whole thing is not, oh, he's scared of Terence Crawford, he want to back out of the fight, or he's trying to figure out a scapegoat for him losing, so on and so forth. No, he been having his smoke for Victor Conti before he even fought Ugas. Before all this, he said he was talking shit about Victor Conti 2 weeks before his fight against Ugas, or a week before, when Victor Conti was insinuating that he was cheating. But now you got guys like Kurt. Shout out Counterpunch Boxing News. It's a great YouTube channel. It's for real. It's just he is Bud's super fan to the highest degree that Bud can do no wrong. And Errol Spence, oh my God, he's just the worst thing possible. Don't even want to get a man credit for a phenomenal win. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Kurt and a lot of other individuals, and I love Bud's ability and skill, but Bud fans talk about Errol Spence Jr. fans and his super fans and all of that, when Bud super fans be acting like they want a Bud baby mamas, okay? They act like they want a Bud baby mamas because it's so crazy. When Errol says something, it's, oh my God, him and Derek James talking slick, they talking shit, but Bo Mac's nail Carter built ass, he can go up there and go say any, but like Bo Mac, you know, Bo Mac built like Chomp Chomp. I shouldn't be talking like that, but Bo Mac be talking so much shit. And when Bo Mac never say nothing, it's all, oh, Bo Mac, it's okay when Bo Mac say shit. When he say shit with his Chomp Chomp built ass, when he say stuff, they let it slide. Oh my God, no, Bo Mac can do no wrong or nothing. When Bernie the Boxer, go to Bernie, get out here talking slick, talking shit, they don't say nothing. It's all good in the hood. But when Errol say something or somebody from Errol camp say something, then it's a problem. They better be lucky Errol Spence ain't got my family members in my corner, right? Because Errol people really be cool. Only time I seen was when his sister Ebony had to check Terence Crawford's sister Letitia on social media on Instagram for coming at her brother so wild. And the Spence family hadn't said anything. They stayed quiet and stayed out of the way. They stayed put. They didn't say hardly anything. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a humble dude. I got a demeanor like Errol. For the most part, I'm chill, reserved. But my family going to get on gangster time. Because if that was my family, oh my God, my uncle would have pulled up on Bo Mac and them, slapped the shit out of one of them and all that, right? But, you know, I'm not advocating for no violence between the camps. I only want violence between the fighters. That's it, and only want violence in the ring. But it's just so funny to me, man. It's like every time, if they try to figure out a way to discredit Errol and make it seem like he's scared. And see, they were banking on Errol being a hoe, right? They wanted Errol to be a hoe type of dude that's scared. And when Errol showed that he got dog in him, when he was talking that shit, now that he been trolling Bud on social media, now he been posting these posts with the shark knocking on Terence Bud Crawford's door after he got the blood trailing from all the other people he won belts from. He had a shirt with a door for Kell Brook, had a door on the shirt. It was a door with a trail of blood coming from a door labeled Sean Porter with the WBC strap, and then a door with Ugas, right? And then the last door is a shark knocking on Terence Bud Crawford door, right? Then Errol got a shirt, or he got a meme or a picture of him going grocery shopping with 3 of the belts in a grocery cart with a checklist. He checked off all the other belts, and the only thing left is for him to check off Terence Bud Crawford. Now that Errol is poking his chest out and he talking gorilla talk and goon talk now they can't say, oh, he's a hoe, because all they were banking on is Errol being scared, and oh, he's afraid, he's scared, he won't even say nothing back. Now he talking that shit back, they gotta go pull at some straws for something else to try to say he's scared or he ain't who y'all say he is. So now you got individuals like Kurt, shout out Kurt, Counterpunch Boxing News, Kurt coming up here with a narrative, oh, Errol just scared. You never heard this shit. You never heard none of this shit before we found out Terence Crawford was working with Victor Conte. Yes, the fuck we did, Kurt. Because Errol was saying this shit before he fought Ugas, 2 weeks or a week before he fought Ugas, like 2 weeks before he fought Ugas, when Victor Conte was trying to smear Errol's name and say to basically insinuate that Errol was juicing. So Errol checked Victor Conte's ass in, and he doing it still because Victor Conte has some shit to say, talking foul. So he like, okay, well, I'm going to keep getting on your motherfucking ass since you keep talking crazy, right? And people are like, oh, he only saying something now because Terence Crawford isn't rolled it. And no, Terence Crawford just happens to be collateral damage, along with a fighter that Errol Spence is really cool with, in Devin Haney. He's cool with Devin Haney, right? So he wouldn't want to insinuate that Devin Haney is on steroids because he cool with him. Even though Devin Haney is under the whole snack program or whatever, he don't want to insinuate that Devin is a cheater or anything like that. But he wants to specifically hone in on Victor Conte and talk shit to him and say, yo cheating ass better not say nothing about nobody. I'm enrolled in VADA, but your cheating ass got a history of just doing some foul ass shit. So who are you to try to come out and question what the fuck I'm doing, right? So, but you got all these, it's just so crazy, man. It's great to be a fan of fighters, but these the Terence Bud Crawford's the narrative of Terence Bud Crawford's super fans is Errol is afraid, he's a hoe, he's scared. Now the boy out here talking shit, talking cash shit, putting up memes. Now it's, oh, he don't really mean that. He doesn't really mean that. He just backed into a corner. Nah, fam. Now he on the time that y'all want him to be on. He on that type of time. He talking that cash shit that Bomac and all them be talking now. Now he talking that shit. Now it's, oh, it got to be something else. It ain't just because he really want to fight the dude. Because Kurt and everybody else, why the fuck would Errol call him out if he gonna just come up with an excuse? Oh, because he don't want to look bad? Nah, man. Errol ain't never strike me as a person that's afraid of no fighter, right? When they met that day in that hallway, Errol didn't seem anything fearful of it. It wasn't anything scary. I didn't see no fear in that brother. I don't think neither fighter is afraid of neither fighter. But let Terence Bud Crawford fans tell it. It's not his fans. His super fanatics. Let them tell it. Errol is scared. Oh my God, he's shaking in his boots, so on and so forth, right? So that's the narrative they was rolling with until Errol disproved that. Now it's, oh, he trying to accuse Terence of being a cheater. He's talking about Victor Conte only because Terence is over there with Victor Conte in the gym with him, or under the snack program or whatever, or got an endorsement with snack. So now he's trying to say that Terence is cheating because he's with Victor Conte. That's the only reason he's coming at Victor Conte. No, brother, do all your research like you research all the other shit. Where you was coming at Deontay Wilder, you was talking about, you doing all the research on Deontay and all that. So do the same research when it comes to Errol Spence Jr. and his criticisms of Victor Conte. You can see that Errol was talking this same rhetoric before the Ugas fight. Before it was even out that we even known about, Terence Crawford and Victor Conte and all that. He was talking that shit, but Errol was talking shit on Victor Conte being a cheat before then. He was reposting stuff about Victor Conte being a cheat on his social media 2 weeks before he fought Ugas because Victor Conte was smearing Errol's name. So find another route, another angle to take besides Errol being afraid and all that. He's fearful. He's scared of what's going to happen. Man, motherfucker, it's a fight. Fuck it. Whatever happened, happened. Y'all the only ones Y'all talking that shit because y'all don't like dude. Y'all don't like that brother. And that's fine. And what's crazy is I was a big fan of Terence Crawford before I even knew who Errol was. My problem only came, I love Terence Crawford fighting ability. I just didn't like how he was dismissive of the black media outlets that covered him before a lot of the mainstream outlets even was whispering his name and the mainstream outlets were talking about him. Bud was out there trying to discredit. He didn't want to even interview with the black media outlets that was riding with him before he got popular in mainstream media. He was shunning them, sending his little mans to talk to all the black media outlets, you know what I mean, that was basically covering him and watching all of his fights and supporting him. He tried to little dog them. On the other hand, Errol Spence Jr. has no problem talking to the black media outlets that support him and rock with him. He had no problem doing that. He supported the people that supported him. Errol Spence Jr. has great knowledge of self. He comes from a family that displays knowledge of self, which I can see from the what do you get, Khalid Muhammad tattooed on him. He puts up things about Malcolm X. He's very in tune with black culture and who he is as a black man in America. And that what made that outside of just Errol Spence boxing ability made me a fan of his, because that brother knows who he is, where he comes from. He knows his history, and he's not afraid. He's not going to shy away from it, right? He's going to lean into that no matter what. The way he called out Oscar De La Hoya for not treating black fighters well after Oscar tried to get him on his team after Errol beat the shit out of Mikey Garcia, right? That's what made me stand up with that brother, because I said his parents raised him the right way, to have knowledge of self, to be aware of where you come from, and to also recognize when there are other black men in certain spaces that, you know what, as a black professional athlete that gets support from my black fans, I gotta pay it back to them in some type of way. So I'm gonna get them interviews. I'm gonna talk to them brothers, because they trying to make it in a world where they're not the dominant person in those industries, but they're trying their best. And they've been rocking with me and some buying my pay-per-views all the way and all the while. So why wouldn't I support them? That's what a stand-up brother does, right? When Bo McNeil was talking that shit about, I ain't paying for Errol Spence fight, I'm gonna stream that shit, I ain't paying for that. And when they asked Errol Spence Jr., are you gonna watch Errol Spence? Are you gonna watch Terence Bud Crawford's fight? What did Errol say? He said, they asked him, are you gonna stream it or are you going to buy it? And Errol Spence Jr., his reply was, I'm not gonna stream Bud's fight. I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna pay for it. I support black fighters. I say, you know what? Despite the differences, but despite Bud being his adversary, he still stayed on code and say, no, I'm not gonna stream that brother's fight. I'm gonna buy it. I support black fighters. I say, oh my God, that brother, that's some real black shit, man. That's real stand-up black man talk. So that's why I started riding with Errol Spence Jr., right? Not because, and I still think Terence is a phenomenal fighter, but it ain't got to do with fighting ability. It's just, I don't know how much knowledge of self Terence Crawford has, or I don't know how in tune he is with that. I'm not sure. He might does, but from the way he shunned the LDBC, the brothers that was supporting him before mainstream media was riding his team, before all these Terence Bud Crawfords, and a lot of the Terence Bud Crawfords, a lot of the Terence Bud Crawford super fans are either really fans of his, half of them are really fans. The other half are just Errol Spence haters and detractors. So they go on and they act like they Terence Bud Crawford super fans in order to, in some way, downplay Errol Spence Jr. because they hate that brother. But you're not gonna fool me, man. I know what the fuck going on out here. So, yeah, man, y'all cut the bullshit. I can see it and smell it a mile away. Errol wasn't trying to talk down on Bud by calling out Victor Conte. He was simply repaying a favor when Victor Conte was talking that shit, insinuating he was a drug cheat. Son of, Errol Spence ain't enrolled in VADA. What the fuck you trying to say? Because I know your cheating ass ain't got shit to say about nothing, right? That's what Errol was saying. So Errol said, you know what? I ain't gonna let up. Once you start talking shit, I'm on your ass. And he applying that pressure to Victor Conte. It ain't, Terence just happened to catch a stray because he over there with Snack, but it ain't got nothing to do with Terence. It's more about Victor Conte talking that shit, talking crazy before his fight with Ugas. That's what that's about, man. So cut the bullshit narratives. I know some of y'all like to act like y'all Bud baby mama. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all, because y'all like to say Errol Spence. Y'all like Errol Spence baby mama. A lot of y'all like to act like y'all one of Bud's hoes or baby mama. So y'all got to chill out. Bud is a great fighter, exceptional fighter, talented. It's a 50-50 fight. He may very well beat Errol. It's a possibility on both ends that either fighter may stop either one. But I'm not going to let that talk shit about nothing. I'm not going to let that make me clown Terence Crawford as a fighter. He's a remarkable fighter, as is Errol Spence Jr. But a lot of y'all got to relax. Cut the bullshit, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.